My name is Kufariji Steven, Department of Computer Software Engineering. And I really don't regret coming here. In fact, I begin to say everything that has brought me to this place. In fact, there's no time for it. But sometimes I tell people that coming to Highland was the best decision I ever made. Ever. Because it has opened my eyes to so many things. And even being in the university is not going to give you this kind of exposure in this particular field. I can assure you I've been to the university. That's okay. So to give you this kind of exposure, and it has been a pretty nice experience. One of the first things that you're going to learn when you're in Highland, they're going to teach you Introduction to Programming, which is the course that makes you ready for any programming language that you encounter. That means that even if you are not familiar with the language that you are supposed to be working with in a company, you can pick it up quickly if you are serious with what they are teaching you. It's not about you getting high scores. It's about you learning, knowing that I want to know this thing, which is what they are going to really butcher here. So initially when I went to the company, I wasn't vast in the language that they worked with, but with my knowledge of Introduction to Programming and how to pick up programming languages, how programming works in general, I was able to tell them that, okay, fine, you know what, test me out, let me come for a month. If you don't like me, then send me out, right? You can't lose anything. Don't pay me, right? And then they're like, okay, fine, if you're not going to pay me for the first month, come over, let's see. And then at the end of the first month, they called me and told me that am I going to accompany them to a particular summit that they were going for. We work with the Nigerian Bar Association, so they told me that I should accompany them to the place. I was the only intern they chose. Okay, now you don't understand when I say I was the only intern they chose. There were people from the university there, people from Unilag, people from 400 level, 500 level, people from Unilag, people from OAU, smart people. In fact, they are way smarter than I probably would ever be. Very young girls of 17, 18, very intelligent. But I got chosen, and then I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then from there on, it was perfect. I was able to work on everybody, university students, the ones that had graduated. I was able to cope with them. I was able to perform at their level. In fact, I won't say better than them, but we were able to really work together, and everything was very fun. So even if you just come to Highland alone and you learn what they say you should learn is a key word. Learn, not just come here to get high scores. It's not high scores. If you learn what they say, they teach you, and you let it get into you, then you'll be very fine. You'll be fine in the real world. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's a lot of relevant stuff you're going to learn. In fact, apart from that, when I went for COS, I was in ND1. Okay, so that was ND1. That was 1/2 of what everything I was supposed to learn here. Do you get me? So that means by the end of the second year, you can imagine what more knowledge you would have had. So this is not a joke. So whoever is watching this video now or in the future, it's not a joke.
Highland College of Technology, moving you technically higher.